Hey guys, Monica here from Below Body Bar, and I want to talk to you today about CoolSculpting. You may or may not have heard of it. It has been around for over 12 years at this point. We have been actually performing these treatments since 2016, so I've been a certified CoolSculpting specialist for 8 years. Even though it's been around for that long, I'm sure there are things that you're still wondering about, and one of the most common questions I still get, even though we've been in the business for almost 10 years, is does CoolSculpting work? Well, my answer is always, we would not be in business if it didn't work. So, CoolSculpting actually is the #1 non-invasive fat reduction procedure, period. It is FDA cleared, so it's recognized by the FDA, and it has over 300 clinical studies to prove that it does actually work. Now, to not get too technical and to keep it really simple, the biggest thing about CoolSculpting, which is fat loss, and weight loss, right? So weight loss, we have diet and exercise, right? No one likes to do a whole bunch of dieting and a whole bunch of exercising. Some of us do, but for the most part, we all just want to look the way we want to look and not have to do too much for it. So CoolSculpting becomes the excellent counterpart to complement what you should do as far as your nutrition goes and your exercise routine goes. But the biggest difference is weight loss, so healthy lifestyle, right? You're going to shrink those fat cells. So when your pants start fitting better, your shirts fit better, your arms are not, in better shape and more toned, that means that those fat cells have gotten smaller. Now, if you don't stick to your regimen, right, it comes right back. And we have all been there, including myself. CoolSculpting, what happens is when we freeze the fat cells, so this is an inside look, and again, not invasive, right? We're cooling those fat cells, which is during your CoolSculpting appointment when we do the treatment. Over 12 weeks, those fat cells are actually going to break down. So during the cooling process, what we're actually doing is just cooling them. But 1 to 3 days later, we're actually killing the fat cells. So they're going to die off from the cooling, which is called cryolipolysis. So once those cells are dead, your body is actually going to break those down over the course of 12 weeks or 3 months. And then you're going to end up with less fat in any given pinchable area that you want to treat. So with that said, diet and exercise, you're shrinking your fat cells. With CoolSculpting, we're actually eliminating 20 to 25% of the cells in the area treated. So what does that mean? Well, that actually makes CoolSculpting a permanent fat reduction procedure that is completely non-invasive. So why is it permanent? Simple reason. After adolescence, when your body is fully developed, you are not creating any more fat cells in your body. When you gain weight, it's your existing cells expanding. That's all it is. So even if you were to gain weight or fall off your regimen, you're still going to have those CoolSculpting results, and you're still going to look better versus when you did before you did the treatment. All right, so now that we've covered why CoolSculpting is permanent, I'm going to answer another question that I frequently get asked, and that is it painful? So basically what happens is, and I actually have this machine turned on, this is what one of the applicators looks like. This one can be used on the abdomen, on the love handles, which those are the most popular areas to treat. It can also be used on the arms, inner thighs. Banana roll is another popular one, especially for women. Because there's a suction in here, it may or may not leave it tender or bruised, but it's very minimal. It almost feels like you're sore from working out, so it doesn't really prevent you from doing your daily tasks, whether it's going to the gym, going to work, picking up your kids, whatever it is that you have to do the following day or even after the treatment. So I really like to say, usually there is no downtime, but we'd rather want to over-deliver versus under-promise and say little to no downtime. The other question is, can I come do my consultation and get the treatment right away? Well, the answer is no. Reason being, I don't know how long your treatment is going to be until I actually do an assessment in the area. I don't know which applicators you need, which combination of applicators, and how often you may need to come more than one time. So 60% of our customers actually have come back usually twice to get the desired result. So once you have 25% fat reduction, and then a second time another 25% of what's left over. So usually people get the best result coming usually 2 times on average. But the reason, or the other reason we cannot do the treatment the same day is because each applicator has a different card that we have to order. So it's not necessarily plug and play where we turn on the machine and just start freezing people, right? It's really knowing that we have these in stock, which we may or may not. So it really all depends on what your treatment plan looks like. And we always love to do treatment to transformation. I always want to see, where are you now? What is it that you're looking for, and get you to that desired result as best as possible. So that may require a few different usage of these and different applicators. All right, so another question that I get is, how do I know when looking at you what applications you need to get the results you ultimately want? So what we have here, so this is how the consultation goes. We take a look at the area, so come prepared, don't show up with no underwear on. And the reason I say that is it's happened on several occasions. Women come in here and they say, oh yeah, I was coming for a consultation on my legs, and for some reason they didn't think I needed to see it, and then they're literally there with no underwear. So definitely wear undergarments, but we definitely have to assess the area. We have to pinch the area to know how much pinchable fat there is, so we can gauge, do you need to come twice for that area or just possibly one time? These are the different templates that we use. The largest one, small, medium. This is usually used on the chin. But this is how we figure out how many applications you need, and then we start a pattern on the given area that we're looking at. So because we don't know which one and which pattern is why it's so difficult to determine cost. That's usually another question I get all the time. Well, how much does it cost? Everyone's different, but keep in mind that it is a class 2 medical procedure. So even though it's not invasive, right, even though it's all topical, it's still considered a medical procedure, and it's also permanent fat reduction. So you get what you pay for. Now, once we've done that, and once we figured out which applicators you need, especially on the day of the treatment, we're back to the applicator, right? Let's say this is the one we're doing. It's currently set up to treat the love handles, which we all know we don't love. Okay, so very simply how it works is we prep the machine. You most likely are new to our practice. I'm just going to hit females, and let's just say we said love handles. I actually touch that specific area, and then there would be a sticky gel pad that goes on your stomach, or on your love handle, so to speak. And so basically, don't come wearing your best clothes. Wear a sweatsuit, wear something that can get sticky. Don't worry, it will wash out. It has me confirm everything, that it's set up properly. And then, just so you know how the vacuum works, this is what it sounds like, and it literally will gently draw onto the area. And then it sits there for, this one is specifically 35 minutes, and it feels like an ice pack that you can't take off. So within 5 minutes, it will be cold, but after 5 minutes, it usually goes numb, and then you won't feel it. Another common question that I get a lot is, what happens to the skin after we get rid of the fat? Very good question. So even with people that have a good amount of skin laxity, or people that are a little bit older, we've even had people well into their 70s do CoolSculpting and still had a significant amount of skin retraction. So a lot of times, any type of hanging skin is really caused by the excess fat that's there. So people always say, well, this is all skin, right? No, skin is actually only as thick as what you can pinch on your wrist. So anything extra is actually fat that's weighing the skin down. So most of the time when we treat the area, the skin will retract. We've even had people literally with their stomachs hanging over their belt line completely retract. Now, I can never make that promise with every individual, but I will set the most realistic expectation possible, and we will always share our before and afters of previous clients that we've had. All right, last but not least, why us? Why below body bar? Well, as previously mentioned, we've been doing this since 2016, so that's almost 10 years at this point. We've done over 6,000 treatments at this point, and we've rarely turned anyone down. And the reason we've been successful is to literally be as transparent as possible. Most people are a candidate as long as we set that realistic expectation. We have had people that have had to come 3 times or more for the same specific area. But if that's the desired result they're looking for, or if that's the treatment route they want to go, meaning they don't want to have surgery, we're not going to say, no, you can't do it, if we know we can get them results. The other reason is we are a one-stop destination. We have other things to assist with weight loss, inflammation reduction, detox, and those are all things that are going to help you on your fat loss combination with weight loss journey. So we like to really look at the full picture. Another reason we're very successful at what we do is because we go way back, even further than 2016, of being transformational specialists. A lot of us have worked with all walks of life since we've started here, and even the founders of our business. And that goes back to personal training, nutrition counseling, you name it. So we have been looking at shapes and bodies and transforming them for a very long time. And that is actually why we got into CoolSculpting, because a lot of times you've got those stubborn areas. You're doing your diet, you're doing your exercise, you're going crazy, and that one area that is most stubborn, and for most people it's the waistline, right? You literally have to starve yourself and do all these things in order to get it to that point. And if you ever get it to that point, it is not realistic to maintain. So CoolSculpting is perfect to round out all the things that you're already doing and give you those cutting edge results that you are looking for. So if you are wondering if you are a candidate for CoolSculpting, that is not something that you have to figure out. You can come get a consultation anytime. The consultation is free. The only thing we ask you is to put a card on file in efforts to hold your appointment, because we do have a specialist sitting with you for a full 30 minutes to talk about the results that you're looking to achieve. Another question I get all the time is, should I diet and exercise and get my results first before I do CoolSculpting? The answer is no. Come get the assessment, do your consultation right away so we see where you're at, because the more pinchable fat you have, in this case, is actually good. We want the pinchable fat when it comes to CoolSculpting because, again, the applicator is vacuum based. So the more there is to grab onto, the better the vacuum will work for the applicator and the better your results will be. All right, so that's it for today. I hope you feel a lot more informed about what CoolSculpting is all about, and especially more comfortable about the treatment itself. Here at Below Body Bar, we strive to have you look your best, feel your best, especially with no surgery. I look forward to seeing you for your consultation.